up, guys? Lord Sloppin here for the Iron Lords podcast and LordsOfGaming.net back again at Pax East 2023. We're at the Yacht Club Games booth, and I'm here with Celia Schilling, the Director of Marketing for Yacht Club Games. And I'm very excited, Celia, because we are looking at Mina The Hollower.
Yeah, sorry about this.
Follow-up to Shaun. What's a game that has been known to be called one of the greatest of all time.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And I concur. So tell us a little about Mina.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, so we announced Mina on G4 Recipes a little bit over a year ago. We decided to go back to our roots, so we actually launched a Kickstarter on it. Within 8 hours, we were overfunded throughout the whole campaign. A huge thank you to all of our backers. We're working very hard on this project, and I'm so excited to get it in your hands. But about the game. So Mina is a love letter to the Game Boy Color. I'm a huge Game Boy kid myself, so I love it. It is a top-down action-adventure game. We lean really into the spooky elements, but gameplay-wise, I would compare it similarly to like a Castlevania mixed in with a Link's Awakening mixed with a little bit of a Bloodborne. So there's a lot of challenging aspects.
Bloodborne, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you that because again, your Shovel Knight is a love letter to the 2D game. So, you know, like a DuckTales or Mega Man or Mario Bros. This would be a love letter to something a little bit different, but again, still mixed with those styles.
Yeah, I would definitely like it's so funny that like our company, like a lot of the things we make are retro rooted, but like we've been in love with video games since we saw our first Pixel, and so it only makes sense to express that love in creating games that are familiar but new.
Absolutely. As an old man, I love Pixels. Love my Pixels.
Me too.
Alright, so let's take a look at it.
Yeah, sure. There's the demo. Okay. So for this demo, you can choose which item that you want to use. You can use Mina's trusty Night Star, which is like her cool whip. You can choose the hammer with the blaster strike maul. Whoa! I like the key art. She looks so grippy. And then we also have the Whispered Vesper, which is her dual daggers. I'm going to go with the Night Star. It's trusty and traditional. So adding more weapons was actually a part of our Kickstarter. We hit that tier, obviously, so we're putting in the game. So for it, in the game, this demo focuses on the crypt. The crypt, it kind of places you in, I would say, like a little bit deeper into the game. So the demo's not starting you out like at the beginning of the game when you'll see when the actual retail release is there. But it definitely gives you a feeling of what the game is going to be.
What do you consider the game to be in terms of progression, in terms of like improving powers and like skill tree stuff like that? Is it more RPG-ish or is it more sort of action?
So it's a little bit of both actually. So throughout the game you'll collect different sidearms and you'll also collect different trinkets to help aid you on your quest. But there's also level up aspects to it. In the game, if you collect enough bones, you'll bone up. It's the cool little catchphrase. So you can get stronger in different ways, get better defense and all that good stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm seeing a lot of, again, link energy here.
And like, it's really cool. Like, I love the Game Boy Color, and we're using a lot of like Game Boy Color logic to it. We're staying faithful to like the color palette. There is some cheats, just like how we did with Shovel Knight. There's a little side cheating there, but the aesthetic-wise, it's beautiful. I'm so excited.
I think what's exciting about that is like the way you guys create the aesthetic is it makes you think your old games actually looked and ran this way, and they didn't really. They were slower. There was a lot of pixelation and flashing, and you guys obviously cleaned that up immensely while maintaining the art style. So in my mind, all my old games look like this.
Yeah. I feel like like a lot of the aesthetic is how you remember the Game Boy Color rather than like how exactly it is. Like, I always dreamed about playing my Game Boy games on my TV, which we did have, the Game Boy pack, but it isn't this.
it isn't this. You take a Game Boy Color game and you attach it to that. Was it the N64 that you could attach?
Okay, so there was the controller pack thing for the N64 where you put it in there, and then there also was one for the Super Nintendo.
Right.
But it wasn't this.
It wasn't this.
It's how I imagined it, though.
You take those pixels and you blow them up, they're not pretty.
Not as pretty as they should be, but yeah.
So tell us a little bit about boss fights.
Okay, so for boss fights, you're actually going to have to find out. So
okay.
something to keep in mind, sorry, I'm bad at multitasking, is that for this game, in comparison to the Shovel Knight series, is that for this game, we're leaning into the spooky elements. So as you adventure through September and other like levels, I don't think we've announced the names for yet, you're going to discover very I would say, yeah, like spooky, very dark themes to it. So the enemies will be a little bit more, macabre than the Shovel Knight series. Boss fights are challenging, but they're going to be fun. I had mentioned earlier a little bit of Bloodborne aspects to it. So Shovel Knight, you had mentioned earlier, was inspired by Mega Man and DuckTales, but it also is inspired by Dark Souls. So we're continuing that tradition for Mina. So there'll be a lot of dodging, a lot of whipping around, and keeping your wits as sharp as your Night Star to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, Celia. So excited for Mina the Hollower. Release
date not announced. So once the game, the devs give me the thumbs up, we'll start, spreading to the world when Mina the Hollower will come out. But until then, it's unannounced. But keep an eye on our social media pages. We're at Yacht Club Games on literally everything, and I'll announce it when I can.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This is Lord Sovereign back again. This is Yacht Club Games. This is Mina the Hollower. Shout out to Iron Lords Podcast, lordsofgaming.net.